Welcome to IRLTV. I am your host, Angela T. Jones, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Kevin Hughes. Now, this week has been incredibly interesting. Unfortunately, we've had some natural disasters, and we've had to evacuate the state of Florida as a result. And we're sending out our condolences to everyone there for everything that they're going through. Some people didn't leave. Some people didn't leave. They like, we used to this. I don't know why, but God bless you. If it were me. Yeah, it's a lot of unnecessary things going on, because you do have to go back home. You realize that, so if you loot your community, you got to go back home. And so what good does that really do? I never understood that.
Especially when you should be evacuating, because you can steal all you want, but if everybody's swimming, then the merchandise is going to be
wet too. So what you gonna do with it? You done stole it, and who you gonna sell it to? Because everybody gone or it's damaged.
But don't buy no car from Texas or Florida, you know.
I'm not in the market for a car anytime soon. Anyway, thankfully. And we've had a lot going on in the Metro Detroit area. Little Caesars Arena is open now. And of course, you know, we're waiting to see how that's gonna be, but a lot of people are incredibly excited about it. So that's really good.
Pistons coming home.
The Pistons are coming home, baby.
Yes.
Back to the D. I can't wait. That's what I'm looking forward to. Pistons game and Jay-Z concert. That's all I got on my agenda right now. Like those two facts. That's it. And then I won't, then I'll be okay for a minute. Okay. Because, I like to, wait on certain things. Right. I'm not, gonna be at Little Caesars Arena every weekend and nothing like that. But one thing I am definitely looking forward to is seeing the Pistons game there and the Jay-Z concert in November. So looking forward to that. Now we got some great topics today, and we're gonna get right into it. Now, there are apps for everything. I'm one of these people, I believe in apps. Got an Android, love the app world. Google Play Store, all about that. There's an app that will freeze your child's phone from activity until they decide to call you back or reply to your text. Do you think that's something useful for parents or no?
In today's society, I think it is. Because now with some of the things the kids going, especially depending on the age, because I mean you got kids in kindergarten with iPhone 7S, 7S Plus.
7S Plus.
And
plus.
Right, exactly. So with that being said, I mean you kind of do want to know where the kids are and make sure nothing happens, especially with all the trafficking, kid trafficking, things of that nature. So you want to know where they are. So if they are definitely dodging, it should be fine.
I think the only thing I see is the flip side of that. I definitely don't want, my son has had a cell phone since he was 11 years old. I was a single parent. He had a cell phone because he was often at home before I got off from work. However, I don't want his phone to not be able to work just because he has not texted or called me back, because he might need to call 911.
Right.
That's my issue where that app is concerned. Is it hindering my child from getting help from someone other than me? Because I didn't teach my son in an emergency to call me first. Okay. I taught him to call 911, then call me. So if I'm not hearing from him for some reason, because something may be wrong, the last thing I need is for him to be in a situation where he may potentially be in danger. He can't reply to me right then and there, but he's trying to get help. Right. So I would not want his phone to be enabled, because it might make it worse.
With that particular app, that's something that the parent can control from their phone. Just saying like between 8 and 9 if they're at work or something like that. Like it cannot be used unless, or is it one of those where if they reach out, if they don't reach back, then it can't be accessible?
Well, that's the thing that I'm not sure about, because those are things that parents need to definitely consider before they use those type of apps. Absolutely. Is it really useful? Because you have parental controls set up through your cell phone carrier, and you can make sure they're not visiting websites that are only for adults, and that they're not making phone calls or receiving text messages after a particular time of day. But that would be like things like, it wouldn't hinder them from being able to access emergency assistance if needed. And you never want your child to be in a situation, especially if you're like me and you taught them dial 911 if something pop off. Okay? Dial 911, then you call me. You never want to put them in a situation where they can't do that.
Right.
Because a child could be hiding in the closet or under the bed and he don't want his phone ringing because there's somebody in the house, but he might be trying to dial out and dial 911 and they would be able to hear that he's in danger.
Right. Most phones, even if it is locked, you can still call 911. You can't call nobody else.
Yeah, but how locked is the phone from the app? I just don't trust apps with locking and unlocking my phone. You know, me personally, that's never been something that I've wanted my apps to do.
It depends on the situation.
And it does depend on the situation.
You know, some people, they have a camera, you use thumbprint. Some people,
right.
If they're in one of those situations where their partner is not trustworthy.
They got 50 million passwords.
Right, they got passwords. They don't even use a thumbprint or finger. They use the big toe.
The big toe.
Well, for the big toe, you know. So
you ain't getting in this phone
right.
a day.
At all.
Clean it.
Sleep peaceful.
You try to unlock this phone if you want
right.
to, Cletus.
You
got to get my big toe and put it down.
Right.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you know, this society that we live in. So.
Yeah, I've always been one of the people. I'm a little more trusting with my phone. Certain people had an unlock code.
Right.
I use the Google voice enable, lock my phone, unlock my phone, Google unlock my phone. I do that for my own safety because if something were to happen to me and I couldn't reach my phone, I have the voice enabled and so on and so forth, or if something did happen to me and somebody else needed that is designated to assist me or, you know, has power of attorney, they can access my phone to call my relatives and let them know something was going on with me.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit on the fence though. I just don't trust apps to lock or unlock my device though. You know.
Especially third party apps.
Yes. If it's something that's part of Google security, then that's a whole nother situation.
A lot of apps, they have these permissions. You know, where it's like they want to access the phone, the calendar, the text.
Yes.
If the app has nothing to do with that, why do they need all this information?
It depends on what the app's usefulness is. I don't allow the app to have access to too much. And I don't have a lot of apps that I don't actually use either. You know, like if it needs access to my camera, it needs to be something related to video or photos.
Right.
If it needs access to my contacts, it needs to be something where I'm messaging or receiving messages or sharing information with other people. So I do kind of pay attention to that.
Facebook, you know, they want to know
everything,
all that stuff.
All your business. They want to sync to your contacts now and send you messages directly by text. No, thank you. I had somebody Facebook call me, and I'm like, I don't even know you. Like
that happened to me the other day.
Yeah.
Somebody called me. I'm like,
who are you?
I just let it ring.
I did too.
I wish you could send it to, you know, can you ignore it?
You technically you can't ignore by hitting the end button.
I don't want them to know that I seen it.
No, I want you to know that I ignored you because I don't know you like that. So what you calling me through Facebook Messenger phone in the first place? Just because it says I'm available does not give you permission. Okay.
I turn mine off. They definitely.
Yeah, and I turn my notifications off sometimes too. You don't need to know where I'm at or what I'm doing or who I'm with. If you're not a personal friend and we don't typically communicate through Messenger, you don't need to know. You don't need to be able to contact me through there. That's a little too much. Personal. So having said that, and you brought up a good point as well, you know, relationships, you know, and people in their relationships and trust in their relationships brings us to our next topic. Has marriage evolved or dissolved in our society? Because I see a lot of beautiful pictures on Instagram from certain people that I follow, and people are getting married. Yeah, relationship goals, and it's so beautiful. And I'm one of these people, I'm kind of like in between, just like I want it, but don't want to be bothered with it because it comes with too many problems and hassles and issues and stuff. So I'm kind of like, I don't care if I don't ever get married again because it's just too much work with no return on investment. But I love to see other people happy. But it seems like there's a segment of our society that, you know, for whatever reason, marriage is no longer on their radar, it seems. It seems like everybody wants to have cuddle buddies and hang out and hook up and be together until November rules and such. And then it's like, I feel like you're wasting that person's time if that person wanted a relationship or commitment, or if you were pretending to actually have feelings for this person or want some type of longevity with them.
Yeah, because I mean, it's wrong to actually lead somebody on, but as far as society hasn't evolved or hasn't dissolved, I think it kind of varies. Because I know some people, like the older generation, you know, they care, like when it comes to relationship advice, I don't think you should get it from somebody who's not qualified in that area.
Nobody's qualified.
Well,
not even people who are relationship therapists are technically qualified.
What I mean is that if you haven't put in the time of, let's say, if I'm looking to get married, I won't talk to somebody who hasn't been married about getting married.
Okay.
So when it came
That's
to when I was dealing with different things close to that, I was talking to a friend of mine who's been married for 30 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know the good, the bad, the up, the down, not just, you know, one side of the person.
Right, right.
And it's good to get some knowledge from somebody that has the experience in the area.
Right.
As opposed to somebody that doesn't. Because what can they really show you except for how to repeat what they did?
And I agree with that. And also, if I may add, someone who's been in a relationship, and even if it didn't work out, did they learn the lessons? Because some people, they go through their relationships and it may end poorly, but they never learned anything from that experience. So the advice they may give is going to be jaded based on their experience. It's probably going to be more negative than someone who went through the marriage, went through a divorce, and said, you know what, if I could do it over again, this is what I learned from that experience and what I won't repeat next time. Because even you can learn from somebody's failures or mistakes all day. And I feel like even outside of marriage, sometimes that lesson in itself is learning from somebody else's experiences, benefits as well. You know, so, but I understand what you're saying, definitely. And for me, it's always been people around me who were in long-term relationships or married for a long period of time that I do prefer to have my relationship advice from as well. Or even people who it didn't work out for them, but they don't have this sense of, oh, I hate marriage, relationships are not for me, I never get married again. They still love and they learn from their own experiences what not to do.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've heard it from like, it's been older gentlemen that say, you know, you young, don't ever get married. I'm like, why? And it's well because they had a bad experience, so they think that all experiences are bad like theirs.
But now they old.
Right.
And they
like,
looking for a nurse.
I mean, they like 65. I said, don't ever do it. You know.
Oh my God.
Like, you know, one guy told me he was like, I'd be a 15-year hard time. I'm thinking he
went to prison.
And he was talking about marriage.
He went to prison.
Right. I mean, he equated it to marriage because he was saying like it was, you know, it's not, you know. Of course, we all change as we grow older.
Exactly.
And the person that you marry, not the person 10, 15 years from now, because you're all growing and changing. So, you know, that right there, it kind of, you know, made me, you know, just rethink something. I'm like, wow, why would you say that?
Right.
I'm looking at the perspective of why. Then I heard some older gentleman, because I like to get my info, you know, information about old heads. You know, a lot of people, you know, my senior quite a bit. And some of them say, you know, just take your time, don't be in a rush, because a lot of people, they rush a situation.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's like when you take your time, you get more information, you learn more, you're able to make a better quality decision. Because when you think about it, it's only a few important decisions that you need to make in your life. It's like when you come to the realization of why you're here, then it's who you plan to spend your life with that can help you will move forward in your vision and what you're looking to do.
Right.
So if they're not in line with that, you're not growing together, moving forward.
Exactly.
And it's like you see that like in the beginning, it's like why even pursue anything further?
And sometimes you don't see it in the beginning. Sometimes you have to take your time because you're meeting that person's representative.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are really good at hiding who they truly are. And I know somebody who hid their true self for like 3 years.
I thought the secret, you know, service agent was only like a year.
No,
representative.
no.
You know.
I thought so too. I thought the representative was like the first 90 days,
See,
and then after that it starts to fall apart because you can't keep up the facade. Some people are really good at pretending to be somebody they're not, and they will keep up that facade until they just can't anymore.
Are they into?
It's not even professional acting, but they should be. You know, it's like, wow, you did that for a long time. You pretended to be a completely different person for a very long time. You should be an actor because that was Academy Award winning. But Oscar and everything, the award goes to. And so even taking your time with that, because everybody is different. And again, some people are extremely good liars. Some people are extremely good at putting on facades. You don't know that person as well as you think you do sometimes. And you have to see how it falls apart. See if the stories are consistent. See if the lifestyle is consistent. Some people, they'll love you for the first 30 days, but then they see that you might be a little bit out of their league. And instead of them just saying, you know what, I may not be the one for you because I'm not where you are at this moment in time, they'll try to just destroy the entire relationship instead of at least trying to salvage a friendship. Because what happens if you destroy the connection that you have with a person because they're a little bit further ahead in their lives or careers or thought pattern or processes than you are? What happens when you do catch up? Now you potentially lost a mate because you destroyed the entire relationship and the friendship. Well, you could have just said, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be together right now because I'm not at the same place that you are.
And then a lot of times it is maturity, and maturity doesn't necessarily have to do with age.
No, it doesn't.
Because maturity is just when you get to a place where you realize, like, you know, at this point, there's certain things that I will or will not tolerate.
Right.
So if you still tolerate stuff that you wouldn't tolerate years ago, you haven't moved to the place where you no longer accept that behavior.
Exactly.
You know, or do that behavior, whatever it may be.
And that is a fact. Maturity and age are not the same thing. I've dated men from like 25 to 65, so I can attest to that. Don't judge me. I look like this. Don't judge me. But at the end of the day, it is about maturity. It is about maturity, and there's a huge difference between that and age.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Which also takes us into our next topic. You're a guy, and I know that you know women in your life, sisters, cousins, nieces, friends. From the perspective of a guy, what would you tell a woman when it came time for waiting for a man to marry her?
Ooh,
How long
now,
do you wait?
I've heard and seen a lot. I've seen people. I know a gentleman, he married a young lady. I think he knew her like 6 months.
Okay.
So, but the reason why he married her because he had her pregnant.
Oh,
So,
okay.
you know, that's a totally different dynamic.
Okay.
And then I know somebody who's been dating somebody for like 8 years, and he just proposed to her just recently.
So is that 8 years they've been together since high school?
No, like 8 years in adult life.
In adult life? Oh,
in adult life, not high school sweetheart. So, and my question is like, you know, I would always ask him like, so are you going to do, well, I don't know, I'm not sure, this, and this. So it took him a while to realize, like, you know, no matter the ups and downs that they deal with, he's going to, you know, he's there in it to win. So, you know, it shouldn't take 7, 8 years. Because like most men we know in like in between 3 to 6 months we know if this is the right one that we want. Now the question is whether we know and we just kind of playing it out, like give it, you know, a year, 2 years, something like that, just to see the thing to change. It could go up or it could go down.
Right.
Now that's a factor.
Yes.
So as far as the time frame, like the first year, it's a representative.
Right.
So after you know, get past the representative, and you actually meet the actual person, and you see their flaws, their, you know, the good, the bad, the indifferent.
Right.
You know, then you come to realize, like, hey, is this something like I could build a future with?
Right.
Because a lot of times, a lot of people, they make a decision of the person they choose to be with based on factors that are superficial.
Right.
Because, you know, somebody might be, you know, muscular, they might be in shape, or they might have money, this and that. It's not about what you doing individually, it's about what you can do collectively together. Because you both can work together and work well, and you can have create a foundation to build something that's significant.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't consider is what can you do together.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, on both sides, male and female, I think too many people are looking for what can you do for me, not what can we do together.
Exactly.
It's
kind of selfish.
It is.
Like take.
It is.
But for something to really be successful, it has to be one of those situations where it's like you give and give and give. It should be a competition of who can outgive the other. Right. But now in today's society, it's like, you know, I'm getting mine, you know.
And whatever happens to you happens to you.
Basically.
Oh well.
Right. You know, that won't create a successful relationship.
Because I will say most of the relationships that I've witnessed, the people who are the strongest in their relationships are power couples who work together. They support each other's goals. They support each other's struggles. It's like nobody necessarily came up together, but at some point or another, this person was on this endeavor and this other individual said, you know what, I think together we can work this out. I can help you, you help me. It was definitely, from what I witnessed again, of people that I've seen with successful relationships, it's a partnership. And like you said, they're giving to each other as opposed to just taking.
And partnership is not necessarily 50-50, it's more like 100-100.
Right.
Because if you have two broken people,
yes,
hurt people, hurt people.
That's right.
Broken people will break other people.
Exactly.
So I've witnessed this, and this has happened in my own life, where it's a situation where a young lady has been hurt for all these different guys, and she meets you, and you're nothing like none of the other.
Right.
But in her mind, she wants this certain type of guy, and when you are exactly what she wants, she's not even ready for that because of what she did. And the baggage that you bring from everything that you deal with.
Absolutely.
Because each relationship, there is some people walking with the 7-piece luggage. Some people got the 3-piece, the 5-piece.
Some people got to carry on.
Right. Some people got to carry on.
Yeah.
So it just got to vary.
Right.
Everybody has some form of baggage, but it's just have you found a person that can help you unpack it?
Unpack it, yes.
Some people, they start piling stuff in it, and you wonder why you got the overweight fee at the airport. Because they can pile more stuff into your bag.
We need an extra $25 for your bag today, ma'am.
25. Try find, well, I don't know how to say the name, but it's one particular airline that has cheaper flights, but you pay for everything else.
Ooh, and that carry-on at the gate is $100. I know who you talking about. Ooh, I saw a lady lose her because they told her she needed to pay $100 at the gate, and she just fell apart.
The seats on the plane, like the seat pocket, the metal rides, like
it's right there.
And
it's like, yeah, it's a cheap flight, but is it really?
And they got this club where you pay a fee every year,
right?
And you can pick a certain time.
Yeah.
And I tried it. I was like, this a deal, but then I'm like, I flew such and such.
I could have flew first class.
Exactly.
On another flight, I could have flew first class on another airline for what I paid when it's over. So I know exactly who you're referring to. I try not to fly them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I try not to. I don't really like it very much. But I also say this, and we'll close this segment with this. As to your point about, broken people and hurt people, if you are involved with someone for a period of time, I don't care if it's a week, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 5 years, when it comes to a conclusion, you don't have to damage or destroy that other person to end it. Too many people, and that's where the baggage comes from, too many people intentionally try to hurt, demean, and just tear apart the other person when you're ending it. You don't have to go sleep with her best friend or his best friend. You don't have to go cheat. You don't have to beat that person half to death. You don't have to tear their self-esteem apart, tell them they ain't this, that, and other, don't nobody want them and all this. All that stuff is so unnecessary, and it will come back to haunt you later because karma is a bitch with direct aim. Ooh. Try to be more civil and break up with a person the way you would want them to treat your heart. Don't go out here into this world making people miserable and hurting them unnecessarily, because somebody will come along one day and they will be so hurt and damaged that they may lose out on somebody who truly loves them because of the damage that you did to that person. Be kind. It doesn't do anything to just be kind. Leave the situation. Try to be amicable. Being violent and damaging to a person's self-esteem is so unnecessary, and there's way too much of that going on in society. And then you go out into the world and you want to date somebody and you don't understand why you get rejected and your karma is off. Well, it's because of the way you treated that last person you broke up with, and you broke their heart unnecessarily, and you tore them apart for no reason. Just because you didn't want them or didn't appreciate them, it doesn't mean that nobody else in this world will.
Somebody will see
them. Absolutely.
And they will cherish it.
Be a grown man or a grown woman about the situation and end it amicably.
Absolutely.
And that takes us into our next topic here on IRLTV. We've been talking about planning for your demise or your future, however you want to see it, or the legacy that you leave. So how important is it to have a will?
Very important.
I believe so. I personally believe so.
And not just because you don't want your loved ones fighting over your stuff. Not just
Right,
because
not just
that is
because.
a major reason.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of families like, literally go to war over
Stuff.
over stuff. And at the end of the day, like my grandparents always said, you can't take none of it with you.
No.
So even if they
You
pass it
should
on to
try
somebody
it.
else, right? They buried everything with them, but they still didn't go to the afterlife. It was still here.
It's still here. We got all your gold.
That's right. It still shines.
It really does, doesn't it?
So just when it comes to wills, just being prepared, having a plan out, like who you want to have this, how would you want your assets to be allocated into who? Because even if it's, property, things of that nature like that, it should always, if there's enough kids to separate evenly, but then it might be a situation where there's, let's just say 5, 6 children, and 4 or 5 of them, like, we're fine. We don't need anything. We don't need any money. We don't need the, parents' house or whatever assets they have. Let's give it to the younger or whatever the situation may be.
Right.
It should be a situation where, like the parents, of course, they know which child is more responsible than the other. Like, well, if I left this person in control of, allocating everything, would they actually be fair?
Right.
Because I've seen some situations where, granddaddy left his auntie, supposed to split it with the other, cousins, and auntie went to Vegas or went to Atlantic City or, basically took care of her thing and just, forget y'all. It was left to me.
Gambled it all away.
Yeah, it's nothing. Then it's like, families and I don't talk to this side, I don't talk to this side, I don't do that because of something like that. So planning is always good to have some type of plan in place. And the thing with wills, they can always be updated.
Right.
They can always be changed. You can, update them if different things happen. If you acquire more, you can add that to it. If you want to give it to a charity or, church or whatever organization, you do that too. Not just necessarily he family. A lot of people that have a lot more don't have anyone. That's why they're in a convalescent home, no family, so they give it all to a charity or, whatever person got close to them in their lifetime.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot of different things to think about.
Because some people, they outlive the rest of their families, outlive everybody. They live real right. And they lived a long time, so they don't have anybody else to leave it to. And also, when you think about it, I think having a power of attorney is important.
Especially when health is concerned.
When your health is concerned, oh my God.
You could be in good condition right now, 6
Yes.
months from now,
It could
everything
change.
can turn around. Because I know a family member of mine got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Yes.
And, it was the whole process, like when you receive the information, it's hard to stomach at first because you don't know how to accept it, what treatments there are, and different things like that. So, of course, the family would be concerned, but then when you factor in the health part, like how you take care of yourself, what created it, what can you do to reverse? Because a lot of sicknesses that we have, it can be reversed based upon diet and what you put in.
Right.
So,
And that's an important factor too. Having that power of attorney, particularly in health situations. Because, again, when you have a relative that you may entrust that person with, but you want to make sure nobody else is coming behind them or making changes. Like if a person says no DNR, they want no DNR. Honor that wish, but if it's in a power of attorney, then cousin May can't come up here from Alabama and just decide that now you're my favorite cousin, so I want you to stay on life support and argue with your power of attorney over
get them to sign the updated will that they made.
Exactly. I agree.
That happens every day.
Every day. And you don't have to be rich to have a will. That's a misnomer. Or power of attorney. You just have to be mindful, I think. Regardless of what you have financially, like you said, it could be assets, it could be your pension. Maybe you haven't updated your pension in a while, but you could put that information in your will.
It could be just junk around the house.
It could.
Accumulated over the years.
It could be because somebody might, like those antiques that you collected, or they may just want to have something to remember you by. And you don't want people breaking them up and arguing over them. It could be anything. Absolutely.
Somebody always wants somebody else to jump. Just like this. That's just So having a power of attorney in place is always good because you never, well, a lot of times people get it the moment they know that they're sick or what.
Right.
A lot of them, they have a time to, like they lapse after a certain time. It could be a year, 2 years, 5 years. So if a person helps decline, they have a power of attorney where they put a child in place. And then if they start bouncing back, then it can be void at a certain time.
Right.
So no, that doesn't happen, in my family. That power of attorney lapse because health has gotten better.
Improved, absolutely. Which you kind of would like to have if it's in a health situation that the person's health has improved. And we are going to take a quick break here on In Real Life TV. Welcome back to In Real Life TV, and we are joined now by Maya Mitchell from POSH DEUX. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about POSH DEUX.
Okay, POSH DEUX is a production with where we pick local artists from Detroit and we showcase hair, fashion, and makeup on a stage and a setting in the Detroit area. And we also partner with charity events from Michigan. And this year we partnered with Wigs for Kids.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wigs for Kids.
Yes.
So you have actually produced several shows in the Metro Detroit area. I've been to I think at least a couple of them. And I have to say that one thing I noticed about the production is that it seems to be what Detroit has often been missing. I know a few designers and they do a lot of shows. I don't always see them at your shows, but I think it's because they don't know as much about POSH DEUX as they probably could. So I'm hoping that you being on the show today will kind of expose you to some of those designers that are looking to do more upscale events in Metro Detroit. Because I think you guys put on a very excellent production. So even just the Instagram page is popping, okay? Let me just say that. Just the Instagram page is popping. Because I get excited to show up in my timeline. Like, ooh, what's next? So you do have an event upcoming. Tell us a little bit about that.
Our event is September the 30th. And that is one of the reasons that we do, like we stated before, a lot of designers don't know about it. We do hand select everybody who's involved in the show. And we want to put the best of the best on our platform. But we do give everyone a platform to be able to showcase their art and the craft that they do. Our event is September 30th. It's at College of Creative Studies. Yes, and we've also partnered with, like I said, Wigs for Kids and College of Creative Studies and their design school. And we also partner with Design Essentials Manufacturing Hair Company as well, which will be sponsoring us as well. And WC3 Design School Department as well. So we're bringing, well, like you stated, trying to bring the missing element that I've seen in Detroit. Not to say anything bad about any other show, but we focus on, that's what the meaning of POSH is classy, elegant, and grand. And we wanted to bring that element to Detroit where we can be proud of and be able to say, you can come and dress up, you don't have to worry about anything, but to be entertained in a positive way, but also giving back to Michigan local charity as well.
I like that a lot. So tell us a little bit about Wigs for Kids.
Wigs for Kids is an organization. The founder is Maggie Bryant, and she does awesome work. I had the opportunity to meet her and to go in and look at her facility and what they do. So they provide wigs for children with no charge. Everything is donated strictly to them, and they ship the wigs out to California where they make them, and they come back to the wigs for children in Michigan. And they are for kids that's burn victims, alopecia, and also cancer. Anything where it has hair loss where a kid may need wigs. So we definitely support them, and I just was invited to a gala and to see the transformation in the kids and to bring a new image to children and see how that changes their confidence was just mind-blowing, and it was such an inspiration. I feel so proud to be able to give back to that organization and to look forward to partnering with them as well.
So how did the vision for Costume start? Where did it start at? How did it begin?
Well, the vision started because I'm going to say my mentor, he allowed me to travel from state to state. He's a competitor hairstylist, and I was under apprenticeship with him, so I was able to travel at different competitions and hair shows and makeup shows, and I saw something that I thought Detroit was missing, and I wanted to bring that back to Detroit. So that's how it started, and I just decided that I wanted to do it. I love the production, but I forgot to mention that I was the artistic director for one of the, I guess they call it the Super Bowl of all hair shows, which is the Bryant Brothers hair show in Atlanta or Georgia. My mentor was invited, Kevin Carter was invited to be one of the stylists there, but he had to, this was the first time I was ever behind the scenes, and by me having to put the production together, like the hair, the makeup, the dancers, the clothes, you know, everything, the music, everything that had to deal with the show, I just loved it. It's just so passionate in me, and that I just wanted to do it for the rest of my life, and that's what started POSH. And I brought a little bit of every show that I went to in different states to try to bring that to Detroit. Well, I did actually bring it to Detroit. You'll see when you come to the show.
Okay. What can we expect, from POSH in the future?
Okay, from POSH in the future, we're going, like I said, from state to state.
Okay.
So we do have some representatives from Atlanta who will be in attendance at the POSH show here in Detroit at the College of Creative Studies, and to be able to travel and bring the show nationwide. I want to definitely take it to, in Europe or in Paris. That's where I get my inspiration from. So I would love to see us from the United States be able to represent even the city of Detroit, but just the United States in itself. And I just want POSH to be one of the most anticipated shows that come to Detroit for local artists to be able to showcase their craft on our stage in a way that they probably wouldn't be able to in an avant-garde way, in a crafty way, at any other show. So I'm excited about it.
Great.
Now, what is something that you see as an upcoming trend in fashion?
Well, one of the things that we're doing in POSH this year is we're focusing on different eras.
Okay.
So it's called Rebirth of Prestige Artists in the City. And we're bringing the attention back to where fashion came from in the city of Detroit. So we're seeing how it transitioned to what it is now. I believe that the trend that Detroit started, a lot of people had, I guess they moved out of the state,
right,
and then they took our trend, and now they're dressing how we used to dress. And some way, somehow, it kind of left a lot of our fashion in Detroit. But where I see it going is I see us getting back to that. That's why I call it a rebirth. I see us coming back to wearing what we want to do and wear what we want to wear colors. I mean, fashion has no rules. So bringing more freedom into personality, I'm seeing that just being more bold here, like in New York or wherever, California. So I do see it coming back, and I can't wait to see it come back where people aren't so cautious and safe about what they wear, but really just to, whatever their personality is, to embrace that and just wear it, But that's what I see the trend of, just being free to do whatever they want to do.
Being an individual.
Being an individual, yes.
I do this walking down the street seeing individuals in Detroit.
Yes.
And then I go to Chicago and I got on a t-shirt that says, I don't F with you. And somebody from Chicago walk up to me, oh my God, I love your t-shirt, where'd you get that from? Exactly. And it's like,
You can wear that all day long here.
Look, like, but I think that the individualism is very important and it's the mainstay in fashion. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the show. I'm trying to be there.
You are definitely invited. You are definitely gonna be there.
And I would like for you to tell the people how they can get in contact with you and how to follow POSH.
Okay. POSH can be followed at www.poshdeux.com, and that's spelled POSHDEUX.com. You can also purchase tickets on there. Just hit the link, buy a ticket, purchase a ticket. So every ticket purchase that you buy will go towards Wigs for Kids, which is very important to us. We want you to come and participate in that. Even if you don't come, we just still want you to, support us as well. Our Instagram page is the same, POSH DEUX. Our Facebook is the same, POSH DEUX. We make it easy for you, POSHDEUX. And we welcome all our new followers and the support that we're getting from Detroit, so we can bring more to you and artists who are wanting to showcase their craft on our stage.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming out today and allowing us to invade your space with an interview.
No problem, anytime.
And we're very much looking forward to everything upcoming from POSH.
Awesome, thank you.
Maya Mitchell from POSH. Make sure you check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and visit their website and get tickets for the September 30th show. Welcome back to IRLTV. So, as many of you know, Cardi B has been popping all over the place, on award shows, all over social media. If you have no idea who she is, whether you listen to music or not, you might be living under a rock, okay? Just want to let you know, you might need to get out a little more often. Just have a conversation with somebody. Ask somebody else out on the street, do you know who Cardi B is? And I'm sure they can fill you in. Recently, there was an article written in The Roots, which is a publication geared towards African American people. And the author of the article, he made what I feel to be a rather unfair assessment of Cardi B's abilities as an artist, simply based on the fact that he does not like her most popular song right now, which is Bodak Yellow. And I say this from a perspective as a woman in media as well as entertainment. I felt his assessment was unfair because he didn't give any basis for why he didn't like the song. He just referred to it as trash. In fact, his whole article said that if you like her song, your taste in music is trash. It's one song out of like 40 songs that she's done in the last year and some.
It's a hit though, right?
And it's a hit. It's the only one of her songs getting radio play. It's the only one. Nothing else of hers has been played on a lot of urban radio.
So, could it be that there's a little variation?
Just a little. I think it's just a little hint. I think he was trying to get some hits on his article by making a bold statement, but I could tell you from the talk on social media, which I was a part of this debate, that some black women took offense to what he said because they felt like he was trying to tear down women of color. Because Cardi B is of Latino descent, but she's from New York. She considers herself a woman of color, and therefore we as women of colors, whether we like her music or not, we felt like it was a dig. Because he never said anything about the other trash being made or performed by males in her industry, in her age range. Let's talk about the fact that there's a lot of music that does not do very well, regardless of the color of the artist. There are a lot of artists out here getting awards for what people think is trash. I'm just saying. So to a group of people who were, particularly his readers, are primarily African American women, that's the demographic of the publication, to tell them that because they like one song, that their entire taste in music is trash. I felt it was very overreaching and very offensive.
Very. That can be very offensive.
And this
one song.
Because you like one song, your entire taste in music is trash.
And it's some artists And I don't even know how they got the deal.
And they got deals.
I won't even call them trash. I'll call them dumpster. Because
The
like
music is dumpster.
dumpster, not even trash.
Right.
Dumpster.
It's a dumpster.
You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
one song.
One song. And here's the funny part. She's an independent artist.
So that means she putting her own money.
It's her own money.
Her own.
Her and her team. And it's the work that they've done. They hustled. You know, her social media presence. She did one season of Love and Hip Hop to push her career even further. They tried to, you know, and it's one of those things we talked about before with another guest that was on Love and Hip Hop, where they kind of tried to make it about her personal life,
Right.
but she pushed back and wanted it to be more about her career in music. And then she left the show after that one season because it helped her to push her music the way she wanted it to. So she took advantage of the opportunity
And went to the next
and went to the next level.
Nothing wrong with that.
And as an independent artist, like you said, there's artists out here with music deals, getting awards for the same type of rap. And I don't even, hers is not mumble rap. You can understand what she's saying, but she has a New York accent. She's a Latino from New York. And so she got an accent. That's what, okay, that's how you all talk, right? You go to the Bronx, you go to Brooklyn, everybody got an accent. I don't care what color you are. But to say that one song, and mind you, again, another reason I took offense, has he listened to any of her other songs? He didn't compare one song to another.
Just took
That one song. Okay, he didn't compare her song to any other artists in the same genre, in her same age range, male or female. And I just kind of felt like, again, it was an attempt to tear her down based on the fact that her song is so popular among his readers, which are African American women. Almost a control thing. And I hate to say this, but I was talking about the Illuminati and entertainment. There's no such thing as the Illuminati, but however, there are situations where there is a system of control when it comes to what we like and what we absorb as consumers, particularly African American women, because although African Americans have $1+ trillion of spending, women have $5.5 trillion of spending power in this country. So if you can get a segment of that group of people to not support this female artist, I'm just saying.
Because a lot of times people write publications, it's not necessary, well, they might have their own view, but
Right.
they know that controversy just breeds more controversy.
Exactly.
You know, any publicity is good publicity
Exactly.
for them. So that's how like a lot of them feel.
Yeah.
And they know that, you know, if they can get the buzz, get some buzz, get people talking about, oh yeah, you said this, or you said
Right.
that. And then everybody, know that this is the person that when it comes to this from this, let's go to him.
Right.
Let's go to him. Let's go to him.
But he's not even a music reviewer. He's a gossip writer, And I'm like, you don't review music for music publications, so your opinion is not based on the context of her song per se. And like, there's a little bit of player hater in there.
Yeah.
And I really do feel like he was taking his opinion of her and putting it out to a predominantly African American female audience in hopes that he would get a lot of, yeah, I don't like her, no way, I ain't supporting her, yeah, forget her, who's Cardi B, she thinks she this, she thinks she that. And to me, I have issue with that because as women of color, there's only so many of us in the rap game to begin with. It's not like back in the 80s where we had girl groups popping off left and right. We've got a handful of women of color in the rap game to begin with, and a handful of them making money hand over fist in the entertainment and music business that aren't like porn stars or IG models. You know what I mean? So she's actually transitioning her life from being a stripper to being a legit music artist, whether you like her song or not. To put an opinion out there that really is more personal, I have an issue with that. And it's kind of like, he doesn't even know her. It's kind of like, it's just hating just to be hating, just to get some clicks on your article. You know what I mean? It's like, and you're influenced. Yeah, I did too, because I had to read what I was going to talk about. But to influence a segment of the population not to support her brand. But we like it. Let us like it, whether you think it's trash or not. Let us like what we like. Why do we as black women only have to like serious stuff all the time? Why can't we just have a song about fun? Like, somebody had an issue with Beyonce 7-Eleven. Oh, why she all in the bathroom at the hotel making a video? It looked like it was made with her camera phone. It was made with her camera phone. They was having fun. It was a Christmas tree in the background. She had on a silly little sweatshirt. So what?
But that's what music
So
is
what?
about, really about expression.
Expression.
You can express yourself however you choose to express
Yes.
yourself. There's no parameters around how you
It's
express
art.
you. It's you. It's art.
It's art. And I think that you should allow a person to have their artistic expression and allow their audience and their fan base to select whether they like it or not, whether you like it or not, doesn't really matter. We play music on the Fab Life radio show every day. I don't like all the songs. It doesn't mean that people listening to it don't like it. And I don't feel like I have the right to make that decision for other people, whether they like a song or not. Let them decide what they like. That's what matters to me. Being a person, being a creative, being a person in the entertainment industry, I don't want to dictate to other people what they should or should not like. You can dislike whatever you want, but be respectful of other people's right to like it without you trying to influence that in a negative way.
Now, he dissed that one song. Does he like any of her other ones?
He didn't even say.
Oh.
That's the thing. Like, do you like any of her songs? And it's like, he starts the article with this little backhanded compliment. I love Cardi B. Do you?
Yeah, sorry.
Really? If you love her, I hate to see what you say if you didn't.
That's love. What is hate?
Ooh, child. That's facts. Well, that's it this week for In Real Life TV. Make sure you join us next time.